University of Nevada in Reno presents Nevada Weekly, a public affairs program produced by the Office of Communications and Broadcasting. Your host and hostess, John Marshall and Terry Nault.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Nevada Weekly. I'm Terry Nault with John Marshall. John, how are you doing today?
Doing fine, Terry. Thinking about our future.
And we have a big show on that.
We do, and for a lot of good reasons. People are concerned about growth in Nevada, about the quality of life that we have now and will have in the future. Later in the program, we'll be looking at a new venture at U.N.R. that's going to help raise the cultural quality of our life for you, for me, and for our children. But first, we're going to take a glimpse at the future.
Certainly a lot of folks these days are talking about the MX missile, resources such as whether or not we'll have enough water this summer, energy problems. Where will Nevada be 200 years from now? There will be a program traveling throughout the state that will encourage people to take a look into the future, some of these problems. But in the meantime, UNR's Art Jones, who is program director for K.U.N.R. FM radio station here on campus, talks with some Nevadans about their perceptions of the future.
Nevada 2180, the future is now. Or is the future now? A very interesting program is coming up, being sponsored by the Seirra Arts Foundation and other organizations throughout northern Nevada, which will enable us to take a look at Nevada 2180 to see where we're going, where we're coming from, to discuss some aspects of the future. Nevada 2180 is a program which will be a traveling dramatic reading sort of theater presentation based on John Bowen's After the Rain. Participating in this production are our guests today, who are Rob Dwyer of the Seirra Arts Foundation, Julie Lemaire, who was voted by the Critics Awards in 1978 the best actress of the area. Julie is an actress who is well known throughout the Reno area. She's also a makeup artist, if I understand correctly. And Ed Gilweit, who is director of Seirra Horizons Repertoire Theater. Ed is artist in residence with the Seirra Arts Foundation. Ed was voted the Director of the Year in 1979 by the Critics Awards, and Ed will be directing the production, which not only will take place in the Reno area on the 22nd of February, but will be traveling throughout northern Nevada into many localities. There's also a program which will be enjoyed in the schools in the area. We want to find out about that and perhaps have a sample of what this program will be. Rob Dwyer, first of all, let me address to you the question of how all of this program came about and just what is going to be happening.
Well, I think it's going to be an awfully exciting program, and it came about 6 months ago with 3 words.
I love you?
No, it wasn't I love you.
Those are the usual 3 words.
I was going to tell you that my ex-wife voted me the best actress of the year for 1979, but it started out with 3 words at a library conference, and the State Department of Education was having a Right to Read week. They try to encourage the children throughout the state of Nevada to read books for 15 or 20 minutes a day, and we thought about, my goodness, couldn't we have a reader's theater to go along with this? And so that's how it started, and we wrote a proposal to the Nevada Humanities Committee, calling it Theater of the Mind, and kind of a unique concept of trying to use theater as a way to stimulate discussion. And it has grown from there until now. It's Nevada 2180, the future is now, and it will be put on in 15 different cities throughout Nevada. There will be daytime performances in each of the schools, really to stimulate the interest in reading, and an incredible evening performance of both theater and discussion.
Sounds like it's going to be a very exciting event. Ed Gilweit, perhaps you can tell us the work that is being performed and what that's about and how this relates to the idea of looking at Nevada in 2180 or between now and then.
Yes, well, the play we took, when Rob first approached me of doing this, I wanted something that I thought would be thought-provoking for the people in rural Nevada and here locally in Reno. So I selected a play called After the Rain by John Bowen. It's a futuristic play that takes place in 2180, actually 200 years after the great flood that has wiped out the world in 1980, where we are today. And you are projected into a university lecture hall in which a leading lecturer in the history of the society is giving you a lecture about the forefathers and how they survived this great flood. And it concerns 9 characters aboard this raft who are actual criminals of the society in 2180, and they're forced under hypnosis to reenact the history of their forefathers. The play is really exciting, deals with myth, with ritual, with leadership, with where we're going in the future, and it all takes place under the benign type of attitude that the lecturer presents to the audience. Until the end, you are led to some very exciting discoveries, not only about these characters involved, about the society in 2180, but about the man, the lecturer himself, who's presenting this, and the audience comes smack dab into the realization of basically what do we want to be in the future, what do we want to be like, what kind of man does mankind want to be. And primarily it's exciting. I think if we could read a little section of you get an idea of the type of characters involved in it, and I prefer this to be a show me rather than a tell me type of thing, so I think maybe we'll just read a little section for you.
Fine. After telling, we will now show.
Tell me, Mr. Armitage, have you come to any conclusion in your mind about this flood?
Well, God, I suppose.
So Mr. Otterdale would say. He believes it to be some form of divine punishment for his own sins. Common delusion.
Has he sinned much?
Hardly at all.
Mad.
One might say so.
You know, I'm surprised you keep him.
His wife is attached to him.
And Mr. Banner, doesn't he say that God sent the rain?
Mr. Banner is a very broad churchman. It is not clear that he believes in God at all.
And what do you say?
I say it is the best thing that could ever have happened.
But wasteful, surely.
Natural selection is responsible for this flood, Mr. Armitage. And by natural selection, certain people will survive it. I shall be one of them. So will you, as long as you obey me.
But, you know, why did natural selection pick us, do you think?
I can see you're not a serious student of human affairs, Mr. Armitage.
Well, so much of my life has been spent in the kitchen.
Indeed. I shall explain. Humanity has been increasing at an ever-increasing rate. People have spawned people.
Well, they do that.
And not only were men increasing their numbers so that in 3 generations we should have used up the natural resources of the world, but worse, far worse, the poor, more brutish sort were increasing faster than the rest. The proportion of morons and near morons has been on a rising curve, Mr. Armitage. Because although one can persuade intelligent people to control their numbers, one cannot teach contraceptive to idiots. Idiots have more and more outnumbered the intelligent, and under a system of democracy had as much political power. Lunacy. The rain has wiped all that out. Only intelligent people will survive it, and such of the less intelligent as they choose to carry with them.
Well, why carry any?
For the rough work.
But, you know, what if they would refuse?
They won't refuse. Does Mr. Batch refuse? Does Captain Hunter?
Well, no.
Do you refuse?
No.
You know when you're well off. So do they. There will be much for everyone to do when the waters subside, and we begin our settlement, and with careful breeding, inherited characteristics...
Breeding?
Naturally.
Well, if you're so keen on breeding, why do the men and women sleep separated?
Oh, there will be time for that, Mr. Armitage. And I do not intend, you know, to enforce a total chastity. There must be many occasions when you and Miss Banks...
Well, we're never really alone together, you know that.
Surely you could make the opportunity. She spends a good deal of time alone in the hold with Mr. Batch as it is. They do their exercises together.
But what if the water never does subside?
It will. Do you imagine that natural selection intends to replace us with fish?
A selection from the upcoming presentation, Nevada 2180, which will be presented in the Reno area and throughout Nevada under the auspices of Seirra Arts Foundation and funding. Rob Dwyer, I'm not sure we named who's actually helping in the funding on this, did we?
The primary funding source is the Nevada Humanities Committee. There is some funding from the Seirra Arts Foundation with help from the State Department of Education and the State Library System.
Julie Lemaire, let me address a question to you as a very experienced and well-known actress in the area. If I understand correctly, in each of the communities where you'll be traveling with this production, you will be using some of the people from the community.
Yes, Art, we will, and I'm very excited about that particular aspect of our presentation because the communities thereby involved will be confronted with their own neighbors up there as prisoners under hypnosis, and I think it will lend a very, very exciting aspect to our show.
Well, it will certainly give it local identity in each place.
It certainly will.
As a professional, how do you feel about the project or prospect of working with local amateur people who will not even have had time to rehearse, really?
Well, we will have one rehearsal, and I think it's going to be a very exciting thing. I've toured the state before, and I've met some of the people who will be doing a couple of the roles in the show, and I think some of our amateur theater talent around the state is talented. You know, I really believe that they'll be able to come through very well, and I also think that it's a nice challenge.
It should be fun. How are we going to choose those people who are part of the production?
That's up to the local community. I hope that they'll have readings and choose the ones that read the best or are the most excited about it or have the most talent. You know, maybe they'll draw lots. I'm not really sure.
We'll find out. It sounds like it's going to be very interesting. And what are some of the other aspects of this particular work now? We're talking about something that is a hypothetical situation, the Great Flood, although with the Truckee River recently that may be more localized than we wanted to hope. But then we're projecting where we are in 2180 and thinking, the idea is to stimulate thinking, really, not just to entertain, obviously.
Oh, yes, definitely. The main thrust is to stimulate thinking. And the fact that we are using scripts, this is a reader's theater production, the actors are able to focus down and concentrate on the words, on the meanings, on the ideas in the play, and hopeful that will further discussion after the play. It's very exciting in the sense that there's a lot of talk now that we're in the 1980s about 1984 and Orwellian society developing. And there are a lot of questions today that we have to ask ourselves. What in our society today is worth keeping? What in our society today is going to be detrimental to us in the future? This play poses that. It poses it in a universal way, but very specifically in Nevada, what we're dealing with the issues here. We have a lot of things coming up that are going to be offered to the state of Nevada, the MX missile program, things like this. Are these things going to be healthy for our society? What kind of leaders do we want our leaders to be? You'll see leadership qualities taking place in this play, how leaders develop, how myths develop, how gods and religions develop, how primitive people has evolved. I think all these things are worth discussing today because I think the future is out there. And I don't think it's something to be afraid of, but I think it's something that should be looked at and something that should be analyzed and discussed, and hopefully that's what we're out there to stimulate.
And it's very interesting to me, you mentioned 1984, which way back seemed to be a long way off, but it's very close
4
now.
years away.
So when we talk about Nevada 2180, the future is now. We really are fairly closer than we would like to think sometimes. And this will help us perhaps prepare our thoughts. There will be a discussion with the audience following each one of these presentations, and this is a very vital part of the program, if I understand correctly.
Hopefully one of the exciting things that is going to happen is that the characters in the play will be able to maintain those characters during the discussion. So the audience will not be subject to actors dropping their characters and out of makeup or costume and sitting down, but they will be confronted again with the actual characters in the play. And we will deal with the subject matter as characters in the play and as criminals of this modern-day society. The audience in the end is going to have to make up their minds about a lot of the things that they see. Who is the criminals? Who are the people that are trying to benefit society? It's going to be very exciting because we as actors will be able to be directly involved as our characters, not as actors. She won't be Julie or Ed. I will be my character. She will be her character. And we will be confronting and dealing with the audience on this level. It's very exciting.
So we have impromptu ad-lib theater in addition to...
Right, exactly. The theater goes on and on and on. Right.
It's going to be quite an exciting event. Can you give us another sample of what will be showing up in part of
I think we'd love to. I think we have something very exciting for you.
Okay, let's take a look.
Arthur?
Come in, Miss Otterdale. Make your report.
They're carrying on.
Who?
That's Sonia and Tony. He knows. He can't keep his mind off it when they're together.
No self-disciplined. He deserves what he gets.
What are you going to do about it, Arthur?
Permit it.
But they're carrying on.
It is of no consequence. If Miss Banks is carrying on now, she can have less objection to being shared later.
Shall I be shared, Arthur?
Of course.
Well, it'll make a change. Will Gertrude be shared?
All the women will be shared. In the new society, we shall love one another equally.
But you most, Arthur.
First, Mrs. Otterdale, not most. There is a distinction. What else have you to tell me?
He's been talking against you.
Mr. Armitage? In what way?
Well, he said you were a murderer. He said you did foolish and wicked things. He said you weren't a god.
Foolish?
That's what he said.
What can he have meant by foolish?
Foolish and wicked, he said. He told Harold and Gertrude.
What did they reply?
They replied it was very hot.
Foolish. I should be very angry if I did not consider the source.
What'll you do to him, then?
Him? Oh, nothing. Mr. Armitage is without convictions and without a backbone. He does no harm. Meanwhile, we can use a cook. And you might look closely at Miss Banks, my dear. She is concealing something.
Yes, Arthur. There's nothing else, Arthur.
Nothing?
Unless you wanted something, Arthur.
You must not be coy, my dear. It's not becoming a widow of your years. But you must be very quiet. Not a god, he said.
I'll lie down then, shall I?
Julie Lemaire and Ed Gilweit in an upcoming presentation after the rain. We've been talking about this traveling throughout northern Nevada. One of the questions that I wonder, and perhaps will be answered in these discussions, is how many of us as human beings right now really care about Nevada 2180? This is something we need to look into, the human and humanity aspects of where we go in the future. And I think this is one of the important aspects of the production and why it's traveling throughout northern Nevada. Rob, where do we get into the humanities aspect of this as well as theater and looking toward the future, that kind of thing?
Well, Nevada 2180 is really a vehicle to discuss humanistic issues that are germane, if you will, to contemporary Nevada, and we're really excited about the humanists that will be part of the presentation. Dr. Bill Abrams from the State Department of Education, Dr. Elmer Cole, who's the director of the Nevada Humanities Committee, and of course Dr. Elizabeth Francis from the English Department of the University of Nevada will be with us to help lead the discussion and maybe really explore our responsibilities both corporately and individually to the future of Nevada.
Sounds like it's going to be a very, very important program. We certainly don't want to miss the opportunity to perhaps get in on this or learn more about it. February 22nd is the date for the Reno Sparks area. The production will be traveling throughout Nevada, and we invite Seirra Arts Foundation as the information source for more information on this program. And I would like to thank very much Rob Dwyer of Seirra Arts Foundation, Julie Lemaire, our Actress of the Year of 1978 and who will be one of the featured actresses in this production, Ed Gilweit, the awarded Director of 1979 and Director of the production. Good luck to you in this project, and thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Art.
On the plus side of the growth game board is an influx of cultural events, and here in Reno we've been experiencing more cultural events and a greater variety of those kinds of events. And I understand, John, that we're going to be treated to one of my favorite events, and that's the ballet.
Right. The University Ballet Theater, Reno's first and only ballet company, is going to present its initial performance February 15th through the 17th. It's really an important event not only for the university but for raising the quality of life for us in the state and in the city, of course. Our assistant producer, Judy Drews, talked with the artistic director of the ballet company, Barbara Manabe, about the company's future and its history.
Barbara, just what is the University Ballet Theater?
Okay. The University Ballet Theater was founded 1 year ago through our dance department here at the University of Nevada. We wanted to, number one, was to enhance the arts here in our own community, and number two is to give our own UNR students an outlet to perform classical and modern ballet. We found that a lot of our students, dance students, have had many years of dance training but have decided to go on to another field. So what we're doing here now at the UNR is giving our students a place to perform their art.
Is the company made up exclusively of UNR students?
Yes, they are. The entire company is of nothing but University of Nevada students.
When you came here 2 years ago, what did you find and what was your goal?
I found no ballet at all here. I came and I had talked to our chairman, and he said, okay, if you'd like to teach a ballet class, that's fine, but we just don't know what the interest would be. And we started out with one class of 48 students, and we're up to somewhere around about 300 or more students in about 6 or 7 sections now of ballet alone, plus our whole dance department, which is way over 400 and some students.
And the other departments are jazz, disco?
Right. Our other departments are modern dance, taught by Ruth Waldman, and we have disco, and also jazz, which is also taught by Miss Waldman.
How many students are in your theater company?
In the company we have 27.
Men and women?
Right.
Do you have any trouble getting men into the group?
No, we have 6 full-time male dancers with us who are performing in the company. But altogether, we have between 18 and 20 men who are taking classes regularly here in ballet alone.
I would imagine that this is a challenge to keep physically fit. Dance is a good exercise, right?
Right. They're finding that ballet is a little more, especially the gentlemen, they're finding that it takes an athlete to do ballet, pretty much so, and that it's not as easy as they think it is. And my gentlemen seem to be just as much into it, if not more, than most of my women.
Do you feel the movie Turning Point had any effect on the acceptance of ballet now?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
What do you see as the future for the University Ballet Theater?
Well, we're right again starting and talking about our next performance, and it will be the second act of Giselle, which will be a classical ballet, and then Petrushka, which will be on a modern type, choreographed by Ruth Waldman.
A little more information on what you're doing on this program.
Okay, on February 15th, 16th, and 17th at the Church of Fine Arts here at UNR, we will be doing an 8 o'clock in the evening performance with a 2 o'clock matinee on the 16th. We're doing a ballet of variations. It's called an evening of ballet, where we're trying not to bog down the public with heavy storylines, but we're going to show you good, strong ballet and the skill and the hard work that our company has been putting out for the last year. In the first act, we're doing technique, which is to take off on a ballet class. We're going to show you pretty much exactly a full ballet bar, but to some beautiful music to Tchaikovsky, Glazunov, Minkus. And then we go on to modern ballet that was choreographed by Ms. Waldman. And then we do the Emperor's Waltz, which is our tribute to Valentine's Day, which we feature Cupid and a full corps de ballet. And then our end of the first act goes to the Spartacus Pas de Deux. Then on the second act, we're doing a tribute to Dmitri Shostakovich, a Russian choreographer. The ballet we'll be doing will be a ballet that was only danced in the United States about 3 years ago by our company in Pittsburgh, where I came from. And we are going to take the inspirations from that to the beautiful music and do the whole second act to a ballet of variations by Shostakovich.
Fantastic. You mentioned Ruth Waldman. What is her participation?
Ruth Waldman is a choreographer of the company, and again, a very good teacher here at UNR, and so she sort of helps me along. Her and I together work in putting together the company.
You were mentioning before the chairman of the department.
Oh,
Has he
yes.
been helpful?
Oh, we can't say enough for Mr. Loper. Keith Loper, if it wasn't for him, I don't see that the UNR would have a ballet company. He just about bent over backwards for us, and we thank him very much.
I imagine that your students spend a lot of time in practice. Just how many hours do they work?
Well, this summer, I know within classes, and we'll start because that's when we really got down deep into this performance. We were working 5 and 6 hours, 4 and 5 days a week. Now we're up to only 6 days a week and about 4 hours a day on this performance.
That's enough to keep everybody physically fit.
Right.
Is the enthusiasm level very high?
Oh yes, just great. The company, their morale, they consider themselves best friends. As you know, being company members and working together, it's a great friendship amongst this group of people.
How does your background fit into this? Where did you begin your dancing and education?
My husband's a physician, and he was a fellow in Pittsburgh where he met me. And the state of Nevada does not have a pediatric cardiologist, so one day he came home and said that we're going to Reno, Nevada, so off we came. And my husband's on staff at Washoe, and that's Manabe, and so I came to work here to try and get some ballet going, and he's trying to get cardiology going, so we're both sort of very busy.
It's quite a team.
That's right.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I wish you a lot of luck on your program, and may you continue for a long time.
Thank you.
We'd like to look at some of your dances, and if you could explain them as we go through it.
Okay, thank you.
Barbara?
Barbara, could you explain what's happening here, what this dance is?
Okay, this dance is the opening to the second act of Shostakovich's, and it's called Entrée de Cortège, and it is the entrance of the corps de ballet.
Maureen Cottle is one of the stars of the show. We talked to her about how she feels about being in this company. Corinne, how do you feel about this dance company that you're participating in?
I love it. I really love it. It's great. It's a great opportunity to get together with some really neat people and dance. And I love ballet. I love the music. It's a lot of fun.
Have you been doing ballet for long?
Oh, no, not really. I took it when I was younger, and I've taken maybe two years, maybe the most.
What type of role are you playing in this company?
Corps de ballet. Corps de ballet, and just corps de ballet.
What do you see as your future in ballet?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I want to get into the competition so much. It's a real competitive field. I'd like to just keep dancing, just for an exercise and for fun. I love it. Maybe someday I'd get into a company if I work hard enough.
Oh, I think you'll make it if you stay with this group. It seems like they're doing great and wonderful things.
It's a lot of fun.
Good luck on your performance.
Thank you.
In this program, we've taken a brief look into the future, a little glimpse of the past, looked at some growth questions, and we're happy to say that over this past spring enrollment, U.N.R. has increased more than 7%. We hope that augurs well for the future, too.
I think that's very exciting. We'd like to thank you for joining us for this edition of Nevada Weekly and hope you'll join us again next time. Nevada Weekly will be moving into prime time for a very special show, and that will be Saturday, February 23rd at 6 p.m.
We'll see you then.